Morning, everybody. Today we're going to go on a little crop tour. Check on the planted crops, see how they're coming up. Everything's in the ground. Everything should be out of the ground by now. We got a little rain last night. Made a few wet spots in the yard. I think Dad said we got 3 tenths. So we're going to go check out stuff, see how it's growing. Corn's looking good here. Some of our earlier planted stuff. Nice and even stand, nice and dark green. It's looking really good out here. This ground is pretty clay, kind of hard spots out in the middle, but it's a pretty good piece of dirt. It's tiled, so it drains well. It's looking good. Corn's, almost knee high. They say knee high by the 4th of July, and well, we look to be right on schedule with that, at least in this field anyway. We'll see how the rest are doing. This field's looking pretty good too. Nice even stand, nice and dark green. A little bit of weed pressure poking through, but we sprayed it a couple days ago, so they should be dying off here pretty soon. Otherwise, it's looking like a real good field. If everything looks as good as this one looks, I'll be really happy. On to the next one. This one's pretty dirty. You can see the ragweeds coming up here and through there. This is the dirtiest spot of the whole field. For whatever reason, the ragweed pressure is really heavy up here. It's kind of a lower wet spot too here. So they really like to grow when it gets hot. But this was also sprayed at the same time across the street that I just showed you was sprayed. So a few days here, this all should be dying off. You can see it's starting to yellow. A lot of this stuff here is starting to yellow out really good and curl up. Not much longer, that stuff will be all dead. But the corn looks good. That's what I'm really worried about, is the corn, not so much the weeds. We can take care of them. Now when we're out here in the field, usually I try to check for a few things: bug damage, tar spot, just anything wrong with the plants. These plants are looking really good, really green, healthy. I'm not seeing any tar spots, which would be a little black tiny dots showing up. It kind of creeps in mid-season around here. So far so good, haven't really caught any. I'm sure it's coming. We're gonna try some fungicide this year to try to get ahead of the tar spot, get that yield back. The tar spot really drags down the yield on the plants. It's a relatively new thing in this area. Last couple years it's showed up. Just got to prepare for it, check for it early. If you see it all over the plants, it's probably too late. You've probably waited too long. So that's where we're at. So you're gonna try some fungicide this year. Haven't never did that on the farm. I'm looking forward to trying new stuff. The new technology's out. Tall enough sprayers to go over the corn when it's head high and not damage it. That's the plan. Take care of my babies. Out in some soybeans now. They're looking really good. Obviously nowhere near as big as the corn. They're planted much later. They grow quite a bit slower than the corn does this time of year. But they're all looking good. They're healthy. They're coming up. I'm a happy camper with these. So you can see the big gaps here between the seeds. That's what you get when you have a drill or a air seeder style setup planter like we have. The corn planter puts them in singulation, spaced apart evenly. The air seeder just kind of drizzles them in the ground. So it's not as pretty. There's gaps, there's openings, but you still get your plants per acre you want. You still get bushels off of it. Just doesn't look as good until it all fills in. That's one thing I would like to upgrade the planter for, would be to have a little more control over the soybean seeds and how far they're spaced apart and where they're at in the ground. With the down pressure, keeping it in even depth, they'll grow better, they'll come up better, get more yield that way. More yield makes more money. Okay, and that's what we're after, right? Making money. But they're looking good. Look at that. Nice and green. Everything's dead out here that we sprayed. All these thistle spots. Looking good. Looking good. This was the last field I planted of soybeans. There's rows out there, they're coming. It's looking good. This field was turbo tilled, so these should come up pretty easy. The ground's not real hard, doesn't have to force their way through any crust. But they're looking good. I'm feeling good. Everything that I planted is growing. Can't complain there. Just hope for enough rain this summer to keep them growing and put the bushels on. That rain's pretty important for soybeans. Checking some more beans. These ones look pretty good too. This is where a pipeline came through here a few years ago, straight to the back, through that opening into another field of ours. So it's kind of wet on the pipeline. It doesn't really drain that well since they came through. There's some low spots and stuff, but all in all, it's workable. It was kind of wet before, so kind of got to deal with it. But these are planted late too. They're looking really good. They're starting to come up. Not up as much as the rest of them are, but these were the second to last fields I planted. This one here is mine. I'm actually standing in Dad's right now. It's one of my biggest fields. This is 112 acres of beans and 101 acres of corn. Boy, these beans are really looking good over here. Nice and tall, thick, lush. You can see green all the way across the field. See the rows all the way through. It's kind of a lighter, sandier ground, so we need the extra rain over here. And well, we've been getting it, so this crop should be really good going into July here. We'll see how July treats us. Usually it's hot and dry. Could use a couple inches throughout July, a couple in August too. But that's Mother Nature's job. It's up to her now. It's all up to her. Farming is a faith-based occupation, to say the least. Here's the other half of the field. We were just back in that corner back there, checking the beans. Now we're in the front by the road here, checking the corn. Got a few bare spots here that, well, setting the planter up, I may or may not have put the right numbers into the measurements. So we have a few skip spots. You can see one and the other one there. Got a big guest row here, setting the auto steer. You always should set your planter up in the first couple runs in the very back corner of the field, away from the road so nobody can see it. But I seem to just keep starting in the front corner where everybody drives by and goes, what was that boy doing out there? Well, hell, I don't know. You don't run the planter, but for 2 weeks a year, once a year for 2 weeks isn't enough time to remember what's going on. So it takes me a little bit, but we're getting it. We're getting it. This corn is definitely knee-high by 4th of July. This will probably be hip-high by 4th of July, if not bigger. Corn really puts on the size this time of year. These nice, hot, muggy days, corn eats it up. It can grow up to 1 inch a day in some spots. So I need to set up a little scale, the yardstick or a meter stick up. We can show you how much it grows each day. Be a fun little project. Maybe I'll do that when I get home. But we're off to a good start, guys. Fields are looking good. I don't see any blight. I don't see any bad spots on the corn. Everything's healthy. The weeds are dying. We're all good. Only the markets would stay up. They're just diving down too, so the markets are down. It's even more important to get every last yield bushel you can. Now we're back at the home farm, checking some beans behind the barns here. They're looking really good. Probably some of our better looking ones. Getting thick, filling in, nice and tall. This is kind of sandy ground here too, so it requires quite a bit of rain to grow good. And so far so good. We're getting it. But That's all the fields we got to check today, guys. It's getting a little hot out. We're gonna do some inside projects. Give me a like, thumbs up, a subscribe. Come back next time and watch us, see what we're doing. I appreciate your support. Have a good one, guys. Bye.